Craig, it was a sometimes rocky road for the regular season for the Winnipeg Jets, but they finally do qualify for the playoffs in 8th spot. Their reward, the number 1 seeded Vegas Golden Knights. The one big question for the Jets, are they a sleeping giant or an easy out?
I don't know how you can call any team with Connor Hellebuyck in the net an easy out. And you talk about they get the number 1 Vegas Golden Knights. The Vegas Golden Knights get that sleeping giant in the Winnipeg Jets. You know, when it comes to goaltending, and Connor Hellebuyck is, in my view, the second best goaltender in the league this year after Allmark. His ability to just keep things on a level surface when things aren't going in the favor of his team are tremendous. And I don't think that the Vegas Golden Knights have the same type of offensive firepower that forces Connor Hellebuyck into a spot where he has to stand on his head. The Jets, through first 54 games of the season, were really good and one of the best in the West. Then, like you said, there was a rocky road, a bumpy road, but then they found their game. And I think they found their way in a significant way. And I think for the Vegas Golden Knights, they're going to have a tiger by the tail against the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic because Vegas plays such a good defensive system. But if you look at this series and look at game breakers, you'd say that if everyone's healthy, the Jets have more game breakers up front than do Vegas. And if they also have a stronger goalie, although Laurent Brossoit played quite well down the stretch and may get some starts for Vegas, they put themselves in a spot where they will shorten games because they're going to be close. They will shorten the series because they're going to win some games. And that's what you need to do to cause an upset, I guess, which is what it would be if you're an 8 seed beating a 1 seed. But it feels like with their new lines and the way they kind of have set themselves up down the stretch here, Craig, that they have the kind of team that will play the kind of series that will cause Vegas problems.
I couldn't agree with you more because I think you talk about the kind of team that can pose real problems. And because of the fact that they had to play in such a manner to get themselves, number one, righted and then get themselves into the playoffs, they're starting to roll now, and they're starting to have that confidence. You know, we hear it all the time, play to your identity. You know, Kevin Cheveldayoff acquired Nemesnikov and Niederreiter at the deadline, and they became really significant because it gave Rick Bowness a lot of flexibility with his forward group. Moose Scheifele over to the wing. He was struggling offensively. It was bleeding into the defensive game. Dubois is a horse. Lowry's like the heartbeat of that team. And now you look at 1, 2, 3 lines that can attack you in so many different ways and make life miserable for you. That's where the Jets find themselves. And their defense is not bad with respect to the group. Not as good as the Vegas Golden Knights, but I think pretty solid in regard to how they play and how they've found a way to be successful down this stretch.
I think the real test for Winnipeg will be, can they be patient enough? Can they avoid pressing and maybe forcing the big mistake, which Vegas and their good defensive system will get out of some teams? If they can stay with it, if they can stay within the game plan and be comfortable playing really tight, probably low-scoring, sometimes low-event hockey, then their talent will put them in a spot to be successful in the end. It's going to be a fascinating series. And although Winnipeg is the 8th seed, they're not a normal 8 seed with the better goaltender and maybe with more offensive talent. This series is ripe for a potential upset for the Jets as the 8 seed to take down the number 1 ranked Vegas Golden Knights.